Hi, this is Tanya from Caregivers Coffee, and today we're talking about something simple but incredibly important, and that's hydration. If you're caring for both kids and aging parents this summer, this quick video might help you spot the signs of dehydration before things escalate. Let's walk through how thirst shows up differently in your elderly and children, what warning signs to look for, and some practical tips that actually work in real life. Because not everyone feels thirst the same way. Summer brings sunshine, longer days, and outdoor fun, but not everyone feels thirst the same way. And not everyone speaks up when they're dehydrated. As caregivers, we often assume people will tell us when they're thirsty. But with aging adults, that's not always the case. Why don't our elders feel thirst the same way? Here's what's really going on. As we age, our bodies go through real changes that make dehydration more likely. In addition to that, our elderly might also be on medications like diuretics, which put them at risk for dehydration. So, according to seniorlifestyle.com, here are some of the things going on with our elderly. The brain's thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive, kidney function declines, hormonal signals that say drink water don't work as well, and the body simply carries less water overall. Between these, plus certain medications and chronic conditions, it's a recipe for dehydration that can sneak up really quickly, especially in hot weather. Plus, temperature regulation changes too. So it's not just about thirst. Older adults struggle with heat regulation. They don't sweat as much, and their blood flow to their skin actually slows down. They often don't notice when they're getting overheated. And that's a risky combo. Not feeling thirsty plus not feeling hot can equal dehydration before we know it, especially when our loved ones are trying to stay independent and don't want to feel like they're being a bother. Here's a real life example from a close family friend who had to hospitalize her elderly parent for severe dehydration, not from a heat wave, but because he was rationing 1 8-ounce glass of water for the entire day. Why was he doing this? Because he had an enlarged prostate and he wanted to avoid uncomfortable bathroom trips. This seems totally understandable, but by the time they realized what was really going on, they had to take him to the hospital and his kidneys really took a hit. He needed dialysis to get his kidneys back up and running. His family had really tried. They had set reminders, they were leaving him water nearby, they were encouraging him to drink. He didn't think he was being negligent. He just thought he was doing what felt manageable. And that's why we need to look for those subtle signs and try to meet people where they are. Dehydration actually shows up differently depending on your age. And according to the Mayo Clinic, for kids, look for things like dry mouth, crankiness or fatigue, fewer bathroom trips. And if they're saying they feel hot and they're asking for cold drinks, that's definitely a signal that they're feeling thirst and a little dehydrated. In the elderly, we still might see dry mouth, dry skin, fewer bathroom trips. But in addition to that, you could see confusion, maybe even some dizziness because of low blood pressure. You might see something like constipation, sudden weakness, or even an increased fall risk. It doesn't always look like obvious thirst. Sometimes it could look like a mood shift or brain fog, or it could be something more serious. When you're watching for these signs, It really could be signaling something else. You know your loved ones, so remember, if you feel like you need to seek medical attention, please do so earlier rather than later. You will never regret the decision to act. Here are some simple caregiving tips that work. Because what can you actually do to help your elderly and your kids drink more water? You can try building it into your daily rhythm. You can add water breaks before thirst shows up, maybe after meals, during medication administration, and in between activities. Make it visible and easy. Keep water in sight and within reach. Sometimes, for the elderly, room temperature water can actually be easier to drink than ice cold water. It just really depends. We all have our personal preferences. Sometimes you just have to get creative with water rich foods like watermelons, cucumbers, oranges, brothy soups, or even jello. Sometimes we have to just flavor the water, maybe add a little bit of mint, lemon, oranges, grapefruit, berries, or even their favorite melon. Another thing you need to keep an eye on is monitoring bathroom cues. If someone is urinating a lot less, or they happen to mention that their urine looks really dark, it's time to check their hydration status. You will definitely get resistance around drinking water. What you're often going to hear is something like, I'm just not thirsty, or water makes me pee too much, or I just had some water earlier. And our kids' favorite, but I'm having fun. I don't want to stop to drink water. You can try offering smaller sips more often, pairing drinks with some quiet time, adding those fun flavors we were talking about, or even fun cups, fun paper straws. Ultimately, hydration doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to be intentional. As much as I would love to say that my kids never drink juice or they never drink soda, that would be really untrue. We try to keep soda for special occasions and we try to buy juices with a much lower sugar content. And we always stock flavored seltzer waters because my younger one absolutely loves this. And when drinking water becomes a challenge, sometimes this is our go to. So at the end of the day, trust your instincts. Dehydration isn't always obvious, especially in the elderly. If something feels off, trust yourself. You will never regret getting it checked out because caregiving is full of invisible labor, like noticing all of these little things before they become big things. So take a deep breath, offer your loved ones a drink, and pour yourself one too, because you're a vital part of the care plan. If this was helpful, feel free to like, comment, or share with a fellow caregiver who needs to hear this summer. And for more tips like this, you can find me over at caregiverscoffee.com, where we ditch the pressure, sip some perspective, and make space for real conversations about caregiving, life, and everything in between. Take care of yourself as well as you take care for everyone else. And please remember, this post is for your educational purposes only, and it's not meant to replace talking to your provider. If you ever have any doubt, please reach out to your provider or go to the emergency room. Take care of yourself.